And then finally, it builds resilience. That's another thing that I learned when I started studying a little bit more about thankfulness. Hey guys! Oh my gosh, it's Thanksgiving. This one's gonna be short, maybe, probably. But I just wanted to come on here and say thank you, and then also talk about the power of thankfulness, the power of gratitude today, okay? So while you're prepping for Thanksgiving, while you're doing all the things, making sure that you got all your family together and all that kind of stuff, take a moment and be grateful. Think of some things that you are thankful for right in this moment. And let me tell you about why thankfulness is so important and also so cool, okay? But before I do that, let me go ahead and introduce myself. Hey guys, my name is Sonja of SonjaW Coaching, where we help overwhelmed, multi-passionate women learn how to acknowledge, live, execute, and win their dreams. We're all about making sure that their dreams meet reality here at SonjaW. Now let me tell you something. I knew thankfulness was important, but I didn't know how major it was, okay? Let me break this down. I got 3 ways that it is so effective in transforming your life, okay? Now, like I've told you before, if you've been following me, check out some of my past videos. I am a researcher, and I had to look this up because I realized anecdotally that being thankful really does help a lot in how we feel about things and about where we're going and all that kind of stuff. But I couldn't prove how or why it's so important. So I started looking it up. And let me tell you 3 things that thankfulness does in your life, okay? First of all, it changes your brain for the better. Literally. Thankfulness changes your brain. Can you believe that? So I was looking this up, and there's tons of different experiments that have been done, but there was one in particular that I thought was really, really cool. They actually took 300 people who were already doing some type of counseling, some type of therapy, right? And they broke up these people into groups. It was like over 300 adults, and they broke them up in a group of people who were writing letters of gratitude to one person each week for 3 weeks straight. And then they had the other group who just went to therapy. Now, both groups went to therapy, but there was one group who wrote one letter to one person just being grateful for just 3 weeks. So they only did 3 letters. And you know what happened? 4 weeks after the experiment, and then again 12 weeks after that same experiment, the people who did the letters reported better mental health. They felt better. They felt like they were making more progress. And they only did these letters for 3 weeks, 3 times. Can you imagine? That is the power of thankfulness. It actually has a lasting effect on how our brain works and how our minds are transformed. It talked about how this one letter literally changed how people felt 12 weeks after doing it. So thankfulness has a long-lasting effect on changing your brain for the better. Some research talks about how it disconnects you from toxic feelings. It changes, it releases different neurotransmitters, and I'll talk about that in a little bit in a couple of in the last one. I'll talk about it then. But the fact that simply writing a letter to somebody gives you better mental health outcomes than if you just go to therapy. Like, that alone would make me try and write some letters to some people, okay? Now, it's so key and so funny because I do this with my clients. Like, every single time we meet, you're going to take a minute and you're going to write about things that you're thankful for, because I know how much it changes and shifts your brain and allows you to think better and gooder. That's not the right word, but it makes you feel better as you go through a session with me. So 1, it changes your brain for the better. Then 2, it improves your health. It literally improves the health of your body. There's another paper that I was reading that it literally affects how your body is. It lowers inflammation in your body. It helps you sleep better. Like, there's so many different things. It improves your heart. Like, there's even studies that talks about how it regulates your heart rate. Thankfulness. That's what thankfulness does. It regulates your heart rate. Can you imagine? There's some research that talks about, and I mentioned I was going to say this earlier, but it talks about how it releases dopamine and serotonin, which are some of the hormones that are responsible for making you feel good, right? Like, this is what thankfulness does. When you take a moment to be thankful, it literally changes your brain chemistry. It literally heals your body. Like, thankfulness heals you. Can you? I don't know if y'all are getting this, right? And then finally, it builds resilience. That's another thing that I learned when I started studying a little bit more about thankfulness. It builds the ability to get past the hard stuff of life. When you are constantly thinking about the things that you are thankful for, it makes it a little bit easier to get over the things that are just not that good. Because bad things are going to happen in life. But with the right attitude, with the right countenance, it's going to make it just a little bit easier. Just a little bit easier to deal with. So I really encourage, and you know what's so funny? God knew all of this beforehand. Like, we in here, doing all of this research, and God was like, I done told y'all that I wrote it down. Like, I had people write it down. You had to go spend all this money on this research to figure out that thankfulness was good. I kill myself sometimes. But anyway, Proverbs 17:22 says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Literally, God was like, I need you to have a joyful spirit. I need you to be thankful because it's medicine. It's medicine for you. Another verse, I believe it's in Philippians, says to think on things above, to think about the things that are lovely, that are beautiful, that are hopeful, that are all these things, because this is how you'll overcome. Colossians 3:2 says, set your minds on things above and not things that are on earth. God has been telling us to think on good things, to be thankful, because he knew the power of that for our own bodies and for our own minds. So today on Thanksgiving, take a moment to truly be thankful before you join your family for some food. I know sometimes it can be kind of crazy. I know sometimes it may not be the best of times to be with family, unfortunately. But take a moment and be thankful. Write down some things that you're thankful for before you get around your family, and see if it doesn't change how that environment feels. How you feel about being around your family, if being around family isn't the best thing for you all the time, right? Take a moment and write it down and tell me how much it changed things in the comments below, okay? I told you I was gonna be quick today because I got to go eat, all right? I got to go enjoy my family and enjoy some good food, okay? But anyway, have an awesome day. And before I go, I want to say thank you. This year has been crazy. I started doing YouTube on a whim last year in August. So it's been a year and a couple of weeks now. And just to see the growth, to see the people who have said, hey, I've been watching your videos. Hey, I've been enjoying what you're talking about. Thank you. Truly, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing these videos, because my desire is that more and more people live intentionally, because God has so much in store for you. God has so much good that he wants to do through you, but you got to begin to live this life as if there is something more to it. Oh man, I love one of my favorite verses, Psalm 90:12. It says, Lord, teach us how to use our time wisely. Use all the time that we have wisely so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. That is my desire for each person that happens upon my channel. That you truly learn how to live each moment of your life intentionally so that you can gain that heart of wisdom. I want to give some wisdom on how to be more productive, how to live intentionally so that you can go out and do what God has done. God has called you to do. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this video today. And I pray that you have an amazing Thanksgiving. All right, y'all? Have an awesome day wherever you are.